All right, bro. So, Manny Pacquiao. PBC starting to try to heat back up again. Announcing fights, getting shit going. Manny said he back. Likely facing Romero. We all know that. I wouldn't be surprised at a curveball opponent in GERVONTA Tank Davis. Depending upon how the Jake Paul fight go. Let's talk about it. Smash a like, sub to the channel, share the video. We live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30. I understand Manny Pacquiao has a huge fan base. I understand Manny Pacquiao fought well against Mario Barrios, but let's make no mistake about it. Manny Pacquiao is getting this shot for one reason and one reason only, and that's because of his name. Manny Pacquiao didn't deserve to get a title shot in the WBC in the first place. This was a man who hadn't fought a real fight in 4 years. Since losing to Yordenis Ugas in the same fucking division. I'm going to repeat that. I understand he's a legend. I understand who Manny Pacquiao is as a Hall of Fame fighter. But I want to remind my audience that in his last professional fight before Mario Barrios, he got his ass whooped by WBA champion Yordenis Ugas back in 2021. He takes 4 years off, doesn't have any real professional fights, comes back in 2025 and gets an automatic bump to the front of the line against motherfucking Mario Barrios. Fights better than expected, fights to a draw, and then gets another title opportunity. Manny Pacquiao has got 3 welterweight title shots in his last 3 fights, and his record is 0-1-1. Talk about nepotism, talk about money ruling the sport of boxing. This is something that I want to point out because I think it's trash. I don't think he deserved a title shot in the first place. I didn't think he deserved a Mario Barrios fight. I don't think he deserves a shot at the WBA title. Coming off of a draw in a fight that he didn't deserve to get in the first place based off of merit, bro. Merit. I'm not talking about his name. I'm not talking about him being a legend. Based on the merit, based on what people were doing in the division for the past 4 years, he should not be fighting for a world title. However, this speaks to how weak the fucking division is, bro. Welterweight is one of the trashiest divisions in boxing. And I'm hearing people talk about Devin Haney going for undisputed in the welterweight division. That is not an option for Devin Haney. That is not something I want to see from Devin Haney. And if you're a real Devin Haney supporter, you shouldn't want to see that shit either. I am going to cook the shit out of y'all for being hypocrites and being goddamn contradictory people, and I don't give a fuck who like it. But that's going to be in another video that's dropping later today. But back to Manny Pacquiao. So he's fighting Romero. Likely going to be a PBC pay-per-view. For them to get my pay-per-view money, I really need them to put together a better card. Like, I feel like the Lamont Roach Pitbull Cruz card is supposed to have Janabek and Eris Landy Lara on it. That's not a pay-per-view card. Manny Pacquiao and Rolly Romero in and of itself is not a pay-per-view card. That is why I believe that the reason Manny Pacquiao just simply announced the fight and didn't announce the opponent yet for January 24th is I firmly believe we may end up getting, we could possibly get, I think it's an outside shot, but if we just talking money, I think we may end up, we could possibly get Tank Davis versus Manny Pacquiao. KO, why are you saying this? Because, bro, PBC, of all the fights coming for 2026, of all the fights coming in boxing that they could want to make to continue to try to keep their company going up, they want to make that Tank and Manny fight. And Manny losing to Rolly kills that fight. So what can you do if you Premier Boxing Champions? Tank Davis got his exhibition in November. Why can't he turn around and fight motherfucking Manny Pacquiao January 24th? Why isn't that an option? Because if Manny loses to Rolly, then now you can't make Tank and Rolly too. Tank knock Rolly out in the middle of the goddamn fight with one shot. That shit's over with. They want to get to Tank versus Manny, bro. To either put on pay-per-view where they feel like it can sell like crazy coming off of the Jake Paul exhibition, or stream it to where millions and millions of people will watch that shit, because you know the whole country of Philippines streaming that shit on Netflix, Prime, whatever the fuck. They streaming that. How many people? I don't even know the population of goddamn Philippines, but you put Manny Pacquiao on streaming, you gonna do numbers worldwide. You got your 10, 15, 20 million, however many people in goddamn Philippines. Matter of fact, let me pause this shit. My bad. Niggas, 115 million people live in the Philippines, bruh. Yeah, Manny probably didn't announce an opponent because we all thinking Rolly. And every time we zig, we thinking zig the PBZ zag, bro. Every time we zig, they say everybody was like, yo, this nigga fighting Tank fighting Lamont Roach, bro. They went as far as to get the venue. They got the fight done. They got the contract signed. Then Tank Davis got arrested. They like, yeah, they just looking for a venue for September, October. It's going to be all right. Fight still happening. Everybody in camp promoting the fight. And niggas said, skirt, skirt. Jake Paul. So everybody thinking Manny versus Rolly. And I do think if you ask me to bet on it, I'm betting it's going to be Manny versus Rolly. But the closer we get to November and they don't announce the actual fight, and we like, yo, what's up with the fight announcement? Yo, what's up with the fight announcement? Yo, what's up with the press conference? Every day that goes by, I'm gonna be like, yo, Tank, yo, Tank. And then don't let Tank fuck around and come out against Jake Paul unscathed, which is highly likely. Number one is likely because, dog, nigga is fighting Jake Paul. It could be an exhibition. They could have a handshake agreement not to do shit to each other. Or if it is a real fight and they really about to be fighting, it's still a highly likelihood that Tank Davis will come out unscathed because Jake Paul just ain't on his level. That's why we all hate the fucking fight. Jake Paul is a novice compared to Tank. The man been fighting 4-5 years. He too big, too slow. He look fast to y'all because he fighting Nate Robinson and Tommy Fury and 89 years old Mike Tyson and coked up, snort cocaine addict fucking Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., bro. That's why he look halfway decent. You put him in there with Tank Davis, boy, you about to see a speed gap, a skill gap, a talent gap, a mentality gap. It's gonna be just too much. So even if it's real, Tank probably come out unscathed if he want to. And if he got a Manny Pacquiao bag around the corner, nigga, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. And you better believe that Prime Video wants some end of that Netflix money. They want some of that damn success. I don't believe they happy that Tank is going over there to Netflix, but they understand he got to get that. You can't miss on that opportunity. And I don't think this is out of the realm of possibility. So just keep your eyes open, bro. Keep your eyes open. They need to announce the opponent. Everybody talking about Rolly, and I think it may be Rolly for sure. But the longer that it goes, where manager's like, yeah, I'm back January 24th. Who's the opponent? Oh shit, I'm just back January 24th. And they waiting and waiting and waiting. That most definitely could happen that way, bro. So, those are the two opponents I think Manny Pacquiao is going to be fighting. I think obviously in the lead driver's seat, you got to say Rolly Romero. Manny wants to become the oldest champion in boxing history in the welterweight division. Manny has always fought for legacy. I feel like he probably thinks he can beat Rolly Romero based on skill set, based on what Rolly's good at and not good at. He got to watch out for the power and the awkwardness of Rolly. But Manny, if he's able to just have endurance and be close to what he was against Mario Barrios, he'll have a shot in that fight. So that's a winnable title shot for him to become champion. But I also know Manny likes money. I also know the business of boxing is about the money. And I also know that if PBC has their way, they making Tank versus Manny. They making Tank versus Manny to further solidify Tank, continue to build his brand, make him a superstar. They making Tank versus Manny if they get an opportunity. And if they had their way, they would do that instead of Manny versus Rolly if that's a possibility, because they don't want Manny to lose to Rolly and kill the possibility of a Tank and Manny fight, bro. So just earmark this video. I'm not saying for sure, for certain. I'm not offering up any reports. I'm simply saying I find it very interesting that Manny announced his fight on his own and didn't list an opponent. It's very interesting. It makes my eyebrows... it opens up my eyes, bro. That makes my ears perk up. And hopefully by the time, maybe this video won't even get dropped to y'all. Because it's just not gonna happen. But if they ain't announced the person that man is fighting by the time I get home, I'm gonna drop this damn video. Straight up, I'm dropping this shit. And Let me also say this. I'm not saying I like Tank versus Manny. I don't like that fight for Tank at all. It's a step better than Jake Paul, but it's the same thing to me. And I think if he's fighting Manny Pacquiao after Manny beats Rolly, at least he's fighting to become a 3-division champion. And he's fighting the champion. Right? That would be, it still be bullshit to me, but that would be crazy to me. But if he's fighting Manny in January, coming off of the Jake Paul shit, and Manny ain't got no belt, Manny's not a champion, and they just fighting at some catchweight shit or fighting at welterweight just for some, oh, we just gonna fight a 12-round fight. It's gonna be a tough pill to swallow. However, I don't think that shit is out of the realm of possibilities. But if you ask me to bet, it's gonna be Rolly. It's gonna be Rolly that Manny Pacquiao is fighting. But Tank Davis is out there lurking and could be available for January 24th, depending upon how November goes. And it wouldn't be the first time he did a quick turnaround. And this Jake Paul fight is bullshit. It's easy to do a quick turnaround off a bullshit fight, especially if y'all both agree that it's a bullshit fight. Or if you so much more talented than the other person, that you don't take no wear and tear in that fight. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Tank Davis versus Manny Pacquiao in January? Or is it Manny Pacquiao versus Romero? Smash like, sub to the channel. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.